Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now there is an old saying that goes something like this. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I can happily say that saying is a load of tripe. Because Scholomance, Scholomance, whatever you want to call it, everyone calls it something different. Scholomance is an old dungeon that's had a level 90 makeover for Mr. Pandaria. And so far, it's knocking the spots off every other dungeon, level 90 heroic, I've played so far. Why? It's the boss fights. The boss fights are all fun, engaging, they have different mechanics, they're challenging, they make you think, and there are so many bosses in the new level 90 heroics which are dull, unimaginative, boring. So my God, Blizzard, why don't you just start taking a look at something like this and find out what was fun? Ooh, there's lots to discuss in this video today. That's why it's about 11 minutes long, so do apologise. First of all, I have learned a very important lesson in this dungeon, and that is Manaroth's Fury is dangerous. Dangerous. If you're outside, fine. If you're indoors, oh boy. Dangerous. I nearly cause so many wipes. Even when I'm trying to be careful with it, you just can't quite judge the 200% increase in radius of where some spells are going to go. And although we do nearly wipe on several occasions, we don't. Great tank, great healer, other good DPSs in the team. And I just want to say a quick thank you to these German, all of these are German people, by the way, and myself. And I just want to give an extended thank you to them for A, putting up with my mental AoE, but B, also great people to team up with. Wonderful, lovely people. I love the Germans. There you go. Now, Instructor Chilbane, an old friend of ours. He was later on in the dungeon previously, but now he's first up. And first of all, you get that big wave of ice that comes towards you, and you make sure that you're DPSing down in time. And then once he's down, you've got all these books spewing fire, these arcane things going around, and you've got to get the urn down. Now, it looked really quick then, but this is sped up times 4. And I was taking a hefty bit of damage. The healer was doing well. And this dungeon still needs tweaks. This dungeon still needs to be made more difficult. But that was a great fight to be involved with, because you have the pressure of the wall of ice coming towards you. If you touch that, you get one shot, by the way. There's no little, oh, took a bit of damage, let's run away. No, that is just a one shot. You touch that wall of ice, dead, over, gone. So it's a DPS race to get him down. And then the arcane and the books flying around, dropping fire, they were doing significant damage. They need to do more to different people. There's lots of running around there. There's a lockout to stand and cast for a majority of the time, but great fight. Now, we're back with another old friend. And this fight, again, got some wonderful mechanics. You blast her down for a certain amount of health. And then, now Manaroth's Fury really can come into its own. I can get a massive rain of fire coming down. Then I can get Fire and Brimstone Incinerates. And because I'm casting multiple Incinerates, it's just resetting Fire and Brimstone constantly. Massive, massive AoE damage I'm doing here. And this is one time where they don't tell me off. This is one time they actually appreciate my crazy AoE damage. Believe me, there are several times in this video they don't. But that was a great fight. And I won the hood. Yay! The first thing I'm going to do, though, or the first thing I have done when I came out of this dungeon, was get it transmogged back to the other. Because the last thing I want to do is go around the rest of the expansion looking like a condom. Now this is where I get us into a little bit of trouble, because although I gauge my rain of fire quite well because of the massive ring, I can position it and it was okay. I tried to get off a multi-incinerate later on, and yeah, it just went out at all angles, and it basically pulls the whole room. So nearly caused us a trouble and strife. There we go. Everybody's in. All my cooldowns are popped. My health stone's gone on. My 50% decrease in damage has gone on. And the healer and the tanks are great. So big props to you. But we took it We managed to get it under control. In all fairness, we shouldn't have. We should have wiped due to that stupidity of mine. That should have been a wipe. So difficulty, again, needs to be tweaked. But remember, this is the precursor to the boss fight. It isn't quite the boss fight itself. And yes, another old friend comes to greet us. If you don't know these people, you need to go play Scholomance, whatever you want to call it. You need to go play it now in 4.3. Get familiar with these bosses. They're coming back big style. So, this is probably the most disappointing of the lot. He does do a good knockback, and it does hurt you. I mean, that hits me for like 185k. That's a lot of damage. But I still think more, because it's only one person. Now, if it did that to everybody, if it did a multi-bone throw, and we all took 180k damage, got knocked back, maybe not the tank, maybe the tank. But if we all did, then that puts a lot more pressure on the healer. That also puts a lot more pressure on the tank and the DPSs to pop some cooldowns, pop some health stones, get a bit more active in the fight. So, Blizzard, all of us, get everyone getting hit. Take multiple damage. So we're going back through some more trash as we move on to the next guy. If you haven't seen these flesh arrows before, you can't attack them directly. They have these meaty bits on them, and you have to attack the meaty bits on their limbs. And then once those have been destroyed, that actually kills the flesh horror. Otherwise, if you just tackle it head on, ain't going to die. Ain't going to go nowhere. You're just going to be there for ages and ages and ages wondering why on earth you're not doing any damage. But again, it's a position where I managed to get some AoE out. I just sort of do single target and then, oh, there it goes. There it goes. Incinerates everywhere. Incinerates everywhere. Fire and brimstone, refreshing every single one. My God, if we had damage meters on this right now, I don't know how far ahead I would have been. But my, if it just looked at the AoE, not single target, if we just looked at the AoE damage, it'd be like 99.9% Asbats. That's nothing to be proud of, by the way. It's completely reckless. And then we move on to Lillian Voss, and I'm calling Lillian Voss by her name because she demands that respect. If you haven't learned the story of Lillian Voss, roll an undead character from level 1, and you will meet her straight away. Play her story. It is fantastic. It's very, very sad, well written, and it's probably one of the very few times in the World of Warcraft where I've actually genuinely been engaged in a character. So, great stuff. I'm not talking like your Thralls and your Jane the Proudmoors and whatnot. I'm talking an incidental character, not a main character. So you have to fight Lillian. She gets mind controlled, and then she splits her soul, and the soul goes around throwing off those, little arcane shadow bolts. They need to do much more damage. They're doing way too little damage. Again, this is a fight which has been sped up 4 times. It was quite a long fight, a great fight. We all loved it. But it needed more damage, definitely more damage. She does a fixate, she charges around, you get like a fire put under you. You have to run, and it spews the fire all around. If you stand still, it just burns at your feet. You tick for some decent damage. So again, the tuning of the... Yes, I promise I'll watch my AoE, okay. So the tuning of the fights have to be looked at. Don't leave it like this, Blizz, because this is so good to being absolutely an amazing dungeon. So good. So close indeed. So we have to get that attunement of damage right. And I'm hoping it's going to come. So we move on again to the next boss. There's multiple bosses here, and I think only 2 of them drop loot, unfortunately. But that's fine. That's fine. They can add loot later on. This is more about the boss mechanics and enjoying the fights and whatnot. So we have to take out the students. It's all pretty pedestrian stuff here. So again, needs to be more difficult, because what he does now, he pulls the boss and he also pulls back students. We shouldn't be able to do that, because when the tank does that, all we do is just focus on the boss itself. The ads themselves are going down by incidental AoE. Not by me. I ain't touching AoE in this room. I would pull everything again. I would pull the whole frickin', instance. It's just that crazy. I've got to look about maybe changing Manaros Fury. But look at this. Look at this. You use the potion and you turn into the undead Ghostbusters. How cool do we all look? This is amazing. And then we come to the final boss, which is the Dark Master. And of course, Gandling was there in the first dungeon. Here he is back again for some more action. And it stayed very true to the original fight, apart from we don't have to go around the rooms and empty them out first. But we every so often it'll teleport somebody to a random room. Luckily, does it to me. There we go. Apart from the first mob is actually bugged, but never mind. But I actually get to use my AoE, and my AoE gets us an achievement at the end here. So I wipe out my room, that lets me back into the fight, and then when the next person gets teleported, here they come. All these expired test subjects start coming in, which is fantastic. So all my AoE is going everywhere. So I'm now absolutely battering Fire and Brimstone Incinerates. Boom. Where's it coming? It's here. There it is. School's out. Yes! Achievement haul. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I shall be back very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.